Hey guys, welcome to this brand new testimonial video. So today we have a very special guest with us. We have somebody who I can call my friend, my confidant, somebody I've had such good interpersonal conversations with throughout the mentorship. So calling her just a client would be very unfair for me. So we have with us Mrs. Meenu Bhatia, who's an entrepreneur, who's a very busy woman. She's going to be sharing her experience today with all of you guys regarding our 12-week ISP in the fat loss variant, right? So let's just get started right away. So, Meenu, how's it going? Introduce yourself to us. Tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, hi everybody. So I am Meenu and I'm an entrepreneur. Um, have been struggling. Okay, let me not say struggling. I've been like working with my weight issues, always trying to figure out what's the ideal weight since quite some time. And then, there was this one point of time in life where I said, okay, it's no longer about weight, it's about fitness, it's about the fact that if I have to live a meaningful life, live a good life, it's important that fitness takes the priority. And that's when, I mentally felt that now I'm ready to relook at a perspective altogether. So all this while, since my teenage years, it was all about, oh, get to that ideal weight, look in a particular way, be in a particular way. And suddenly that whole perspective changed to how am I feeling from within? Do I feel fit enough? Do I feel strong enough? Do I feel happy enough? Suddenly that whole perspective changed, and I was ready to kind of start with that perspective. And that's when I just happened to meet Amitoj. And Amitoj, so glad to have met you. And I always keep saying when the student is ready, the teacher appears. I think this is the best example of that to have happened.
I'm so very grateful to have met such a wonderful soul in Meenu as well. So, guys, just to give you a little bit of perspective. So, of course, Meenu has shared, and she's like scratched the surface about how her journey has been so far. And all these things I remember we discussed in detail on the first call that she and I had. And I particularly remember that after that call, I just, closed my laptop down and I just let a sigh. And I wondered to myself that just making her lose weight will be one part of the equation. There are a lot of other issues which have to do with the way she feels about herself. They will also have to be addressed. So today I'm very proud on revealing that in terms of weight, yes, we are very near the target that we've set in. We are getting close to 10 kgs, and then her BMI is getting normalized. Her face looks way more radiant. We'll flash her before and after pictures here and there, right? So that you can see what she was and what she is right now. But the best change that happened in terms of Meenu was the person that she became, which truly personifies the fact that when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And probably when the teacher is ready, then the student also shows up and the mutual value exchange can happen. So, Meenu, we got introduced,
Yeah.
right? We had a call
Mm.
and, you decided, firstly, two questions actually. First question, what made you go ahead after the call that we had that, okay, I'm going to go ahead with this, considering that there were so many things you were facing and battling mentally? And second, what were the changes you started to see in yourself once we started on this journey, which you would like to share with our viewers?
Honestly, when the day we had our call, it was not like a first call I was having with a nutritionist. As that's how I saw you at that point of time, and I had multiple calls with multiple people, and somehow I felt that nobody understood me so deeply, which meant that everybody just have calls with me and would prescribe me a diet. But what I liked was that you understood who I am as a person. What do I like? What do I dislike? What's my day like? What are some of the biases that I have? What are some of the beliefs that I have around fitness, around health? And I think I got that comfort, the depth. I think we had that call for about 2 hours. You told me to block 1 hour, and we ended up speaking for 2 hours.
Mm.
And those 2 hours kind of gave me a lot of insight into my own self. The depth of those questions got me to start figuring things out for myself in my head, like, how was I thinking? And just like, you closed your laptop and you started reflecting, I did the same. I actually started
Wow.
reflecting, "Oh, this is how I was thinking all this while."
Hmm.
And I never thought about this. So one big change, for example, I never thought that um weight loss is related to like so many things, and sometimes it's not just about weight loss, it's about how do you feel inside of yourself. I always thought I was like that confident
Hmm.
person, that go-getter, that achiever. But I actually started thinking that, okay, it's largely for the world outside, but do I feel like an achiever within my own self? And that's when I thought that, okay, that was a revelation for me to say, maybe I need to start working on some of these beliefs that I have, around the whole fitness journey.
Hmm.
And honestly, that took away the pressure of me. So the pressure was not about losing weight. There was no pressure, in fact, at all. I think it was that journey I was then started. I started looking forward to that journey, to say that, okay, how do I now get to that version that I've never seen in last 20 years, maybe? Like, I thought I was the fittest when I came out of the college. And
Hmm.
I don't think once I started working, I had seen myself to be that fit. So suddenly, the aim was, how do I get to see a version that I've not seen in last 20 years? And it was not about proving anything to anybody. It was all about
Hmm.
just proving it to myself that, and a lot of people say that it's difficult to get fit, or it's difficult to lose weight once you are in your 40s.
Hmm.
I think you made it very simple for me. That number 40 never came up for me at any point of time. It was like such a smooth process for me, per se, to, because the one, I think you got me closer to my why, and number two, I think the why of fitness. Why do I want to do that? And you would keep reminding me of it. And I think, that was a big, big shift for me. It's a small thing to just, say, why do I want to do this? But to be able to use that as an anchor for your journey is something which was a revelation for me. I think that vibe it, and two, I think it was an effortless journey. And people say it's very difficult, you have to like go through papad belne padte and all of that. I've heard from people, but I think it was quite effortless, and that's largely because of the approach we followed.
Hmm.
It never felt, oh, that I have to, I never once felt like a victim that, oh, what, I have to give this up, or I have to give this up. I can't do this, or I have to do this. No, it always felt like a journey, like, you're experimenting something, there are results coming in. You're like, sometimes when the results are not coming in, you change the course and say that, okay, what can we do differently? But
Hmm.
never did it felt like a torture or a prison saying कि यही करना है. We always had multiple options. So I think that was something which helped a lot.
Great. That is so wonderfully articulated. I mean, I was all ears and I was like, Meenu is so effortlessly covering everything that we went through in this journey. So, Meenu, firstly, guys, she mentioned 40. I wouldn't have mentioned it. I would have said I have a 26-year-old with me. But that is the truth that, yes, 40 was a number that kind of baffled Meenu. And we had a discussion about that. And not just her, I mean, her better half also is not somebody who looks like he's 40, and they kind of met each other and they manifested each other at a time in their lives, and they are such a inseparable duo, such a good team together. So when she told me about that, I was like, this number shouldn't be in your mind at all. What we should do is we should streamline the journey further. So yes, it was about the belief system that had to be changed. And my question to you would be, Meenu, what were the changes you started to see in yourself so that your belief system strengthened and got you to where we are today, even in terms of your body composition or how you feel physically in per se? Since we discussed both the things are related.
Absolutely. So I think, the first belief that I had for a long, long time was that it's difficult for me to lose weight now, because of whatever the reasons, like XYZ, hormones, or it could be about the fact that, again, like, in 40s, it's difficult
Age.
to lose weight. Age was like one thing. Or for that matter, I have not lost weight in last 20 years. So now, it will be difficult for me, for my body to kind of accept this particular change. I think it all started from those beliefs. I think the other belief which I had was that the whole process of getting fitter or weight loss would mean a lot of sacrifices that you will have to make. That was a big belief, and it used to scare me to no end, saying that, oh, I'll have to starve, or I'll have to like cut down on carbs completely, or be just piling up protein shakes after protein shakes. I think all of those things used to scare me a lot. And I had seen videos on the internet where people used to talk about how they got fit, and I would be like, okay, but they are getting fit only by just having two protein shakes and five eggs and some boiled chicken. I can't do that. And I think that was the first thing which I even communicated in our call, that I can't do this because it's not something which is sustainable for me. So those were some beliefs that I kind of started having. Also, I think, one of, and I keep saying this was not something which the program was supposed to do for me, but it did for me. I think a lot of those childhood beliefs got uncovered as well in the process, because as a kid, I was an obese kid. And then in college, I became a little fitter. And then again, I went back into that journey. So I think I always would feel that, okay, as a kid, I was obese, and, this is what society said to me because I was fat and I was chubby. Um, I think I'm going to be this always. So, so those beliefs were like my comfort zone that I was holding on to. To the extent that when I would go to a mall to buy clothes, I would simply go to the plus size section, or I would go to the section where they would have XL range put up. I would never, in my mind, I would think that, okay, should I try a smaller size just in case? Because the belief was that no, anything lesser than XL is not for me. So I would always go towards that side. I think, some of these beliefs got uncovered when I first spoke to you. And when you gave me my diet plan, I was actually surprised that you had put everything that I was eating. It's just that you said, "Okay, okay, now let's look at the quantity. Eat whatever you've told me that you like. You even asked me what are those three things which you would want us to include. You can't do without." And I said mangoes, because mangoes were in this season. And I was so happy to see all of that in there. So I think that kind of gave me a push and the confidence that, I can do this. It's sustainable, because it's not like this was the first time I went into a program. I've been into these programs before, but nothing was sustainable for me, because people would put me on a crash diet. I would lose something and then I would gain it back. The other big shift which happened was my perspective towards exercise, right? And steps, for example, would be something which I would never really bother about too much. Now I'm mindful of my steps. I look for every opportunity to walk around, uh, you know, uh, take stairs wherever possible, or just climb down few floors. Wherever possible, I put and I enjoy that activity. It's so effortless. And, end of day, when you see the number that you've put in so many steps, it just gives that joy that, okay, I've done something. So apart from the exercise, I think that focus on the steps, focus on the activity came up. And this activity, like a lot of household things also now. Earlier, I would kind of delegate to a maid, but these days I consciously think that, okay, do I have time, bandwidth to do this myself? Let me do it myself. It's kind of building up to my need. So, so can I do this myself? And I think that consciousness has now come in, that awareness has now come in.
Beautiful. So very beautiful. So, guys, if you don't know, NEAT is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. She said it, but most of you might not get it. So, telling you. So, that's the daily activities that you do. besides your workout and the stuff, so that overall we can be more active, so that we can enjoy the foods that we eat and get the results that we want. So just to add some light on what Meenu said, she said that the program was not supposed to, uncover or, debunk the myths or help her get rid of the beliefs that, she had kind of pertained, giving credit to her childhood. But what I would say was that those beliefs were the only things that were holding her back. I mean, as you can see, she's so well articulate with the way she thinks. I knew that when we began, if we don't work on these beliefs, then this will be something which won't be sustainable for her. And that is why we uncovered the beliefs. And I think the result of which is sitting right in front of you. And so, Meenu, yeah, tell us, did you work out like crazy from a gym and did you eat boring, bland, boiled foods only all the time? How was this so different from the other programs that you've been through?
No, in fact, I think I hardly went to the gym
Uh,
throughout the
we
program.
did a home workout thing, right?
We did the home workout bit. I think that whole process was so simple. Like it sometimes I feel that the sustainable thing for me is to have things around me. Those habits are easier to form because you don't have to like put your mind to okay, what time do I need to get out of the house? What time do I come back? What time do I get to office? I think this was one thing which sorted itself out because everything was in the house. So I just had to get up, change, and get into the workouts. I think that was like something which was so easy to kind of do and not taking more than 30 minutes a day. I think those 30
And not
minutes.
every day also,
Not every day also. We started by saying 3 days a week.
3 days a week. And then,
Three
of
days
course,
a
we
week.
increased.
Yes, absolutely. And then we increased. And I think you didn't push me to increase. I got so hooked to those workouts that I said, I want to increase
Exactly.
30 minutes. So I can, I owe to myself.
Mm.
So 30 minutes a day. So I think it started from there. And I think even with the food, the amount of options that you gave me, and I think what I best liked about this whole approach is that at the end of 3 months, I've become a very intuitive eater. So
Mm.
two things happened. So one, of course, is that my whole relationship with food changed. I earlier used to fear food. Like
Mm.
if I eat this, will I put on weight? Now I mean, I have like not that I'm like a big fan of puris and aloo, but I think I also had puri and aloo one day and I so loved it. Like this just that one puri I had with aloo. And I was like so kind of savoring it like as if, it's like something out of the world. And but I knew so two like I said, two things. One, my relationship with the food changed. I was not fearing food anymore, but I was, even if I was having little, I would enjoy that food. I would feel happy about having that food. And two, I was mindful that, okay, I have had, say, one puri right now. What else can I have with it? Because my protein has still not come in. And if I'm going out for a meal with my friends, what are the better options available? Like if I go to a Chinese place, can I like order something which is steamed, which is, grilled? And can I compensate for it in either the subsequent meal or in the meal before? So I think some of those techniques that you taught me allowed me to have that friendly relationship with food.
Yeah, food is meant to be loved. It is meant to be cherished. And I, as a fellow
Absolutely.
Punjabi, vouch for it. And Meenu agrees, right? So,
Yeah.
guys, yeah, there were no boiled bland foods for Meenu as well. And we see such a beautiful, radiant face across the screen. I would not want it to be any other way by putting some torture on her, right? So, Meenu, great interview we've had so far. So, I'd like to ask you a couple more things, small, small.
Sure.
So, one, what are going to be your future plans now that you are an intuitive eater? Now you have a good relationship with food, and more importantly, you have a good relationship with yourself. And
Hmm.
seeing you there and seeing you here right now, trust me, it's a hell of a metamorphosis that has happened.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful to God that I was the medium that we could do this together and we had this.
I'm
What are-
grateful.
So, what are your future plans? Right? And maybe I'll also add the last bit of the question which I wanted to ask. And what would you say to the people who are watching this video, but just like you, in a very similar condition, they want to get started. They know that their health, their fitness wants their attention, but something is holding them back. They could be busy working professionals. They could have reasons like time, busy schedules, family restricting them, their own beliefs. So what would you say to them? So future plans, and what would you say to the people who are watching this video?
Yeah, I think future plans are very clear. I think once this, so I have um, I'm going closer to what I wanted, and I'm almost there. I think I want to sustain this and sustain it with few simple things. Now, in this, so the good part about this program for me has been that it has made me self-dependent now. I've understood the patterns, I've understood what works, what doesn't work, and I want to put it all together, summarize it somewhere for me to say that what are those two or three things that I would want to do every single day, as a discipline? Could be about, putting in 10,000 steps, or could be about working out 5 days a week or 4 days a week, whatever. Like, and bringing in different forms of workouts, whatever it is. I want to like put those down to say that this is where I want to be. And I really want to kind of go closer to that goal of, becoming leaner now, because I have lost weight. I'm feeling better, but now I want to kind of, work on my muscles, build them up, because I think it's important for me at this point of time in life that, I now start working on becoming stronger. Right, because again, there are a lot of aspirations, dreams, and I think a fit body can only take me closer to those dreams. I think that's number one. Two, um, I would actually urge people that, okay, they should get on a call. If you're still sitting on a fence figuring out, okay, do I need to start now? Do I need to start later? Is this a program for me? There is always an option of having an exploratory call with Amidst. Have that call. It's like a no obligation call. You may just discover a few things about yourself. Have that call. And it's important that you start this journey as soon as you can. Yeah, because uh, you will only find your joy faster. You will only discover what you can do, what you can be faster. So don't delay that whole process of finding yourself, finding that best version of yourself. You could be in your teens, you could be in your 20s, you could be in your 30s. I mean, we have that limited life to live. So might as well figure out, what do you enjoy doing faster. And one big change that happened with me was I went for a trip, which was a little difficult trip per se, because I was at an high altitude, oxygen was less. I realized that fitness is so important. We think trips are meant to be like, you can just take a trip. Yeah, you can take a trip anytime you want, but if you really want to enjoy something beautiful, you have to build yourself up for it. And I realized it after I went through this particular program, and I realized that I really enjoyed the trip when others in my group were actually even struggling to uh, come out of the hotel room. I was out, I was exploring, I was climbing uh, small cliffs, I was trekking, all because I was in that physical shape that allowed me to experience the beauty of the place. So start as soon as you can. I mean, it's all in the mind, honestly. Like I mentioned, I didn't go through all the torture which most people around weight loss journeys talk about. I enjoyed this whole experience. So just enjoy the experience. Think of this investment that you're making in your own self, and this is the investment. It's like a mutual fund investment. You put it now, and you will start reaping the benefits year on year. So think of it from that perspective, that, till you don't make an investment, you can't reap the benefit. So you have to put in yourself out there, and just declare that, okay, I will get this done. And of course, then you have, once you sign up with Amitoj, you will have him as your accountability partner. He can be little tough with you sometimes. He can be little gentle. So he figures out, what motivates you, and he will just kind of take you to those lanes where you find your own motivation. He'll push you, and then he'll just get you to that point where you figure out that, oh, this is what inspires me, this is what motivates me, now let me be on my own. So this program makes you that self dependent as well. And of course, then it's not about the choices, unhealthy choices anymore. You will be naturally drawn towards things which are good for you, which are good for your soul, which are good for your body. So just go after it.
So wonderful. I mean, I think this has been one of the most wholesome testimonial interviews I've had in such a long, long time. And yes, Meenu is
It's
right.
straight from the heart, Amitoj.
He is straight from the heart.
I
I
don't
can
have
feel
any
it.
notes written. I'm a person who would always prepare, but this time I said I'm not going to prepare. I'll just dive in
No
straight.
idea. It's straight from the heart and it hits straight to the heart. It's that kind of a thing. And I'm so
Thank
grateful that we did this together. And guys, Meenu is right, primarily because, yes, your body is one of the most important investments you can make into yourself. You might have, you know, a full abundance of wealth in your life, but you can't even enjoy that wealth if your health is not by your side. And, that being said, the strip she was talking about, yes, she climbed the Khardungla top, and I will very, very amicably display that in her after
you.
pictures because I am very proud of her. I know her journey, off and on, and I want the same thing for you guys as well. And also, we love Meenu so much that we are going to be keeping her more, right? She's like, "Oh, my program is getting over." I'm like, "No, no, 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 come." There's still be some stuff we have to do. So we are here for quite a bit. I'll probably also put her through the peak week so that we can get some good pictures and then also motivate her. She said that she wants to know now what is it that she would like to do on her own. So, Meenu, surprise for you. We also have a goodbye document with my videos which tell you exactly what to do when you leave the program. So you don't have to make the notes yourself. You will know what exactly are the three things you will have to do. So we've got you covered there, and let's see how long our association is and
Thank
how far we
you.
can take you. But nevertheless, it has been a beautiful
Mm.
journey, which I will be cherishing for the rest of my life. And guys, yep, that's it. I seriously hope you received a ton of value from this lovely interview, and most importantly, got motivated to start your fitness journey with us, not tomorrow, next month, or after 6 months, but today itself. And whatever your fitness goals are, we here at Team ASF are here to help you achieve them in a quick, rightful, and sustainable manner. So we'll soon be back with another testimonial video. Until then, I'm Amitoj, the head coach and founder at ASF. And with me, I have such a lovely, wonderful soul who makes me so very grateful today. This is Meenu Bhatia signing off and saying bye-bye. So thank you, Meenu, for the
So
lovely.
much. Thank you for having me here.
All right. Ta-ta. Bye-bye.